Kenyan court just slammed the door on justice for hundreds of families. This is Kenya News Update today. For 28 years, survivors of one of Africa's deadliest terror attacks have waited. They just got a verdict that shocked the nation. Coming up, you'll discover why a judge said no to billions in compensation and the explosive new plan these victims are launching next. Meet Mike Kitivo, a father, a husband. And for nearly 3 decades, a man living with the scars of August 7, 1998. That morning, a massive truck bomb detonated outside the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi. The blast killed over 200 people and wounded thousands more, most of them Kenyan citizens like Mike. His life was shattered in an instant. But here's the twist. This case isn't about the terrorists. It's about whether the Kenyan government failed to stop them, and the judge just delivered a devastating blow. For 28 years, these victims and families fought. They argued the government had prior intelligence about the attack. They claimed there were known border and immigration failures that allowed al-Qaeda operatives to slip into the country undetected. They said the state failed in its duty to protect their right to life. Their day in court finally arrived, but here's what nobody's talking about: the burden of proof. Judge Lawrence Mugambi delivered the ruling. He agreed the state must take positive steps to prevent violations, but then he dropped the legal hammer. The petitioners, he said, failed to demonstrate on a balance of probability that specific intelligence existed and that the government failed to act on it. No proof, no compensation. The violations, he said, depended on proof of this primary fact, and the evidence just wasn't there. Imagine the scene in that courtroom. Mike Kitivo, speaking for a consortium of victims, said they were truly disheartened. For close to 3 decades, he said, these men and women have been waiting for justice to be served. We are very disappointed. But here's the part that will blow your mind. While the Kenyan victims got a dismissal, the United States government has already compensated relatives of its own nationals who died or were injured. The amount? In excess of $5 billion. Let that sink in. American families received billions. Kenyan families, who bore the brunt of the casualties, got a court dismissal. This creates a seismic shift in the pursuit of justice. So what happens now? The group says they will not give up. They are turning to the Court of Appeal. And then they're setting their sights on the International Criminal Court of Justice. But here's their most explosive new strategy. They are hoping to be awarded compensation from countries whose banks financed al-Qaeda's terrorist activities. They're going after the money trail across the globe. This case exposes a deep tension in Kenya's justice system. Some say the judge was right to demand hard evidence, protecting the state from unproven claims. Others say this is a catastrophic failure, leaving victims of a national tragedy with nothing but more trauma. The implications are huge. If the state isn't held responsible for intelligence failures, what incentive is there to improve? But if every tragedy leads to massive state payouts, could it bankrupt the nation? The controversy is just beginning. The victim's journey from a Nairobi courtroom to the world stage is a story of relentless pursuit. Do you think the Kenyan government owes these victims compensation after 28 years? Or was the judge correct to demand concrete proof? Drop your take in the comments. This has been Kenya News Update today. Subscribe for more breaking news that matters to you.